With the two commissioner nominees whose names were transmitted to the Ogun State House of Assembly by Governor Abeokuta, the names have been confirmed. The confirmation of the nominees followed the adoption of the report of the Committee of Whole chaired by the Speaker, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, presented by his Deputy Honorable Akim Balogun. Correspondent Kolawole Osho covered the plenary, and his report is presented in this package.
Nomination of Mrs. Olufemi Ilori Odunton and Alhaji Jamiu Kolawole Odeto Ogun as commissioners in the state got in the nod of the State House of Assembly, sequel to the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House, chaired by the Speaker, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, as presented by his Deputy, Akim Balogun, after which the Majority Leader, Yusuf Sharif, moved the motion for its adoption, which was seconded by Honorable Kemi Uduwole. The process of the confirmation saw the need of the Majority Leader, Honorable Yusuf Sharif, moved the motion for the presentation of the report of the Committee of the Whole House and seconded by Honorable Bashir Abdul during the plenary. According to the report, the nominees were scrutinized and were found eligible, qualified and suitable for the position of commissioners in the state in consonance with the provision of the 1999 Constitution as altered. He thereafter moved the motion for the adoption of the report and was seconded by Honorable Kemi Uduwole. The Majority Leader, Honorable Yusuf Sharif, also moved the motion for the confirmation of the nominees and seconded by Honorable Bashir Abdul.
Just support that the two nominees be confirmed to be sworn in as commissioner in the state as adopted in our report. Say aye. Just again say the ayes.
It will be recalled that the lawmakers led by Speaker Oluomo during the screening challenged the nominees on effective collaboration for improved service delivery. He encouraged them to synergize with the Assembly as well as ministries, departments and agencies for government to ensure success of the Prince Dapo Abiodun-led administration in the state, if eventually sworn in by the governor.
Ogun State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Haribab, was assured that all the 42 flagship schools in the state will get smart classrooms and boards where the process of teaching and learning can be assessed by learners beyond the four corners of the classrooms. Professor Haribab dropped this in Abeokuta during a strategic planning meeting with principals of junior secondary schools of the flagship schools in the state to brainstorm on adequate preparation and admission of GS1 students into the schools for the 2022-2023 academic session. He revealed that apart from refurbishing and equipping laboratories in the flagship schools with world standard apparatus, the government was planning to build multipurpose resource centers in each of the four regions of the state with one counseling unit per center. He enjoined principals to effectively manage their schools and relate well with old students and parents to join the government to continuously develop the schools infrastructurally, disclosing that woodwork would be introduced in schools with standardized workshops. Speaking, the special advisor to the governor on primary and secondary education, Mrs. Ronke Shoyombo, urged the principals to be good administrators and ensure they maintain the standards the schools were known for. Earlier in our opening remark, the permanent secretary in the ministry, Mrs. Abosede Ogunleye, said the major idea behind the meeting was to measure the success recorded in the last session and plan for improvement. The Ogun State Bureau of Information Technology, in collaboration with Nigeria Computer Society, Ogun State Chapter, Steermakok, and Omoyi Foundation has begun a 2-week summer holiday program for students between the ages of 8 to 16 years. The program would equip the participants in digital literacy. Venue is the Ogun Tech Hub beside President Muhammadu Buhari Estate, Kobakbe Abeokuta, from where Fatima Adigbayi sent in this report.
Information and Communication Technologies, ICT, is a diverse set of technological tools and resources used to transmit, store, create, share or exchange information. This is why the Ogun State Bureau of Information Technology partnered other organizations to organize a 2-week program for students between the ages of 8 and 16. Declaring the program open, Special Assistant to the Ogun State Governor on ICT, Mr. Olakunle Akingbola, explained the importance of the program.
To let them see the various opportunities that arise when it comes to information technology. Maybe to expose them to some of the things that we are doing as a state anyway. At the moment, we are gradually digitalizing the state when it comes to infrastructure, software development, and what we are doing here at the Tech Hub in terms of training.
Tutors at the coaching program also gave insight into what will be taught during the period.
It's just a basic electronic components, how they can use it, how they can build their own equipment, whatever they want to build personally. So it's just telling them how all these components works together, so to make a perfect system.
What they will learn about filmmaking, creation of content, and exhibition of galleries in animated reality.
Participants say they expect to be more equipped with the challenges of the future of ICT.
I'm expecting to be a part of web development so as to build machines to help solve problems. I'm going to feed the administration, and the reason why I'm going there is just because I want to add more knowledge, how to know how to produce things, produce my own movies and my own cartoons by myself.
I hope to solve problems for people, build websites so people can research and help them learn how to code and develop mind skills.
The coaching is expected to expose them to web development and design, graphics design, binary and algorithms, which will also help them develop IT core skills and introduce them to opportunities which include National Under-17 ICT Competition by New Horizons Nigeria, Technovation Girls Competition, Cowbell Mathematics Competition, and many others.
Meanwhile, participants at the Ogun Tech Hub Holiday Summer Class organized for children at all levels to enhance their computer literacy skills have described the program as very impactful. Tiwalade Faison, who was at the venue of the summer class at Ogun Tech Hub to follow up the program at Kobakbe, reports that classes were being held in a very conducive environment. Our report.
Ogun State's Bureau of Information Technology partnered other organizations to organize the 2-week program for students between ages of 8 and 16. In continuation of the class, the instructors described the experience so far as an amazing one.
Well, so far so good. The students have been responding well. I'm taking them on web design and the response was good. And we are trying to help them in the areas that they are not perfect enough.
Oh, the experience has been nice. Looking at the supports and everything, and the students, their attentiveness and the way they are ready to learn, and they're doing quite well, and the environment is quite nice for the children to learn and to. I hope they make good use of this opportunity because it's real. It's real.
Learners said they look forward to learning more on computer-related skills during the holiday.
I've learned how to create a website by using the HTML. Then we add some other things like the CSS, JavaScript, and so on. And I also learned that the Ogun Tech Hub taught some other students so that they will be able to improve themselves in any other technology if they want to create any technology. I've learned that there is nothing that we'll do now that technology won't be essential for. The world revolves around technology every day, and most of the works and professions are going to be taken over by machines and robots. So that is why the Ogun State Technology Hub has started to equip us with digital skills at our early age, so we'll be able to create and know most of it about digital skills.
The coaching will afford them exposure on web development and design, graphics design, binary and algorithms, amongst other things. Tiwalade Faison, OGTV News.
Still ahead, OGTV News. 3 universities' workers' unions agreed to call off strike aside ASU. Details of these are in Ijebu-Ode at a training program for beneficiaries of Okowo-Dakpo aimed at supporting women. Ayodeji Olumi was at the workshop organized for participants in Ijebu Zone. His report.
Okowo-Dakpo is a scheme initiated by Prince Dakpo Abiodun-led administration for the purpose of alleviating poverty among women. Speaking at a workshop organized for participants to make maximum use of the provision in Ijebu Zone, the facilitator stated the importance of the training for a smooth running of the scheme.
This is a concept that they brought to improve the livelihood of our women, and they want to see our women to have more knowledge on how to handle their business and how they could be able to make it to the international level. So governor used this as a platform in order to improve their business skills and idea and how to go on their daily basis.
Some of the trainees pledged their commitment and promised to be good ambassador of the scheme as they lauded the initiative.
It's a marvelous training, because many women, they are just staying at home without doing anything. But with this initiative, women now will wake up to know how to market their goods very well. This is very, very impressive. It will motivate our women. In fact, in terms of their business, they will be able to know how to handle their business. And this training has really benefited us because even we've learned new ideas on how to run our business, on how to manage it, and on how to keep proper record.
There was an interactive section between facilitators and participants. Ayodeji Olumi, OGTV News.
Elsewhere, the Okowo-Dakpo initiative has been described as an agent of financial empowerment and strength for women in a competitive market environment. These underlined comments came to fore at a 3-day train-the-trainers workshop in Egba Zone, where participants were urged to take full advantage of the opportunity afforded by the program. Tiwalade Faison was at the venue of the workshop in Abeokuta. A report.
Okowo-Dakpo initiative was established by the Ogun State Governor Prince Dakpo Abiodun to empower the women at the grassroots level across the 20 local governments in the state. The current administration in the state is giving priority to the welfare of women. To this end, market women have been mobilized into groups and trained on how to manage their finances and capital with a zero-interest loan from the government in the Okowo-Dakpo scheme. Speaking at the training of the beneficiaries from Abeokuta North, Odeda, Obafemi-Owode, Abeokuta South local government, the facilitators said the trainees, who would in turn take the training to their various local government areas, were responding positively to training while highlighting the importance of the papers presented at the workshop.
He's giving back to the community. He's developing human capital at the grassroots. Human development at the grassroots. It's like you are telling people this is how to fish. And when you know how to fish, you fish for as long as you are alive. Having this opportunity of training will enable them to know when to save, to know how to plan what they have as income, and then they'll be able to also minimize the expenses they have.
The beneficiaries commended the governor for the idea of a no-interest rate chart scheme, as it would help beneficiaries' businesses to grow.
They now taught us that from the grassroots, if you have a little something, we can be able to build ourselves. There is no interest in it. So no, there is no interest and everybody has quota, and there is going to be a record. It's different from that of a cooperative, giving interest to people who aims at getting loan from society.
Other trainees appreciated the government for running an all-inclusive government and remembering the people at the grassroots level.
We need to appreciate our Excellency, Mr. Abeokuta MFR. He's doing great for our women, and we appreciate him, and we are promising that we are going to do it better. We thank him so much. God bless him and be with him.
No doubt, the 3 days training would boost commerce in the state. Tiwalade Faiso, OGTV News.
And now to health matters. The Ogun State government has confirmed 4 new cases of monkeypox, bringing the total of cases recorded in the state to 7. This was disclosed in a press statement by the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, in Abeokuta. According to the release, 2 cases were discovered in Ota within Abeokuta local government, while Abeokuta North and Abeokuta South had 1 case each. The statement revealed that the disease surveillance and notification officers, DSNOs, in the affected local government areas have carried out line listing and contact tracing, pointing out that the patients are already on prescribed medications. He further advised residents to avoid direct contact with body fluid or sore of an infected live or dead animals, persons, or contaminated items, just as it emphasized regular hand washing with soap and water, especially after visiting or caring for a sick person, while adding that animal food products should be properly cooked before eating. The government called for calm from residents, assuring that necessary measures are being put in place to curb the spread of the disease. Meanwhile, in Bayelsa State, the government has revealed that 13 persons have tested positive for monkeypox in the state. Director of Public Health in the State Ministry of Health, Dr. Jones Stowe, who disclosed this on Thursday, said the confirmed cases were among 50 samples that were sent for laboratory tests. He explained that the infection of the viral disease could be transmitted from the products of animals or contaminated surfaces to humans. According to him, the infection causes skin rashes that develop into big blisters and result in scars. The federal government has expressed commitment to eliminating mother-to-child transmission of HIV in the country. The Deputy Director and Head of Treatment, Care and Support, National AIDS STIs Control Program, Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Clement Adeshimi, made this known at the second scientific roundtable series organized by the Center for Integrated Health Programs in Abuja. The program was themed Leaving No One Behind, Innovative Program, Recalibration, Integration, and the role of big data in reaching subpopulation for HIV epidemic control. According to him, Nigeria has done well in HIV response. The prevalence of HIV in Nigeria now is 1.3%. So, it is so hard to even find these cases out of 200 million people, and that there is need for a lot of innovation. Also speaking, the Chief Executive Officer of the Center for Integrated Health Programs, Dr. Bolande Oyelutu, said the organization is working with the U.S. President's emergency plan for AIDS relief through the Center for Disease Control and Prevention to address HIV challenges in the country. On our part, the WHO representative, Dr. Oluwafunke Ilisomi, Technical Officer, HIV Viral Hepatitis, World Health Organization, urged stakeholders to support the government in the fight against HIV. Nigerians have been reacting to the suspended strike of the National Union of Electricity Employees with mixed feelings. A cross-section of people in Abeokuta, Ogun State capital, cautioned that such strike could have devastating effect on a growing economy like Nigeria, while others said Nigeria energy system needs a total overhaul. Fowora Adesanwo reports.
The National Union of Electricity Employees asked membership from generating, transmission, and distribution arm of what was known as Electricity Company of Nigeria, ECN, in the 60s, National Electric Power Authority, NEPA, in the 70s, and the Power Holding Company, PHCN, some few years ago. The Bureau of Public Enterprise, through its recommendation, brought into existence Transmission Company of Nigeria, an electricity distribution company. Since the advent of the two, there seems to be a total bottle up on a number of issues ranging from severance pay to welfare, recruitment, placement and running of the organizations responsible for providing electricity to over 200 million Nigerians.
If they go on strike, it doesn't make any difference, because since they've been working, since they've been performing, we did not see any optimal performance from them. So it's better they go on strike. Let us just know that we are using generator in this country.
Nigeria should be consuming no fewer than 180 megawatts of electricity, which is close to what South Africa, with a 67 million population, consumes.
NEPA vehicles is not one vehicle. And I think maybe probably they share that vehicle like that, or they actually rotate it among their group. But I've just seen one passing the street, and there is just one person and few other subordinates that are always there with them.
We met to discuss the issues, and then we have promises upon promises, and then for 2 weeks. 2 weeks is not a long time. We all need to come back to it, and we have been asked to suspend our action. And when we suspend an action, we can recall it any moment. We want to believe that the government will handle these matters in good faith.
But due to alleged stigmatization of its workforce and obsolete equipment, Nigerian electricity has remained what observers called a child's play, which requires a total overhaul.
They do hire ladders to come and either disconnect it, and they pay like a fee to those people.
Although the industrial action did not fly for long due to the complex nature of the operations of the sector, Nigerians must have suffered a huge loss with the shutdown.
Corruption itself has destroyed the nation, because most people are corrupt in Nigeria. And I don't want to say our leaders, most people are corrupt in Nigeria, and most people want to eat alone. Some people want to embezzle the whole thing to their pockets. Some people want to accumulate what everybody's supposed to have, so they want to own it alone. So I think that's the reason why most things in this country have not been working.
No doubt, this is the time to look inward towards a homegrown technology that will meet Nigerians' need in electricity supply and block exploiters who had laid siege on the electric national grid, which have more problems than solutions. Adefowora, Adesanwo, OGTV News.
Members of the ECOWAS Parliament are working on a good governance bill to end 10 years elongation to curb political tension arising from the sit-tight syndrome plaguing some member states. The move, initiated at the ongoing delocalized meeting in Banjul, the Gambia, is to stop the trend of military coup d'etat arising from constitutional disruption by some leaders in the sub-region. West Africa has been hit by spate of military takeover of government in recent times, from the junta in Mali to Guinea-Conakry and Burkina Faso. The common issues have been allegation of corruption by government, poor funding of the military, and the undemocratic review of the constitution by some sit-tight heads of government to perpetuate their stay in office against the will of the people. At the delocalized meeting on peace, security and good governance in Banjul, the Gambia, members of the ECOWAS Parliament said this abuse of democracy was unacceptable and there must be an end to tenure extension to prevent further intentions to military takeovers in the region.
But in some of our countries, people are still contemplating on changing the constitution to go for third term. And that's a recipe for chaos. So we want to encourage all of our government. You serve your people 2 terms. If you change your constitution because you want to make it better, don't take advantage of it to go for a third term and say it's a new republic. It's wrong, and we must discourage it.
ambushing the constitution or constitutional review to satisfy individuals is not fair, it's not the best.
Similarly, Vice President of the Gambia, Issotou Turari, stated that in view of the challenges affecting the ECOWAS region, Parliament must support those in need and try to bring those who have deviated to fall in line through persuasion, discussion, and collaboration.
The khaki boys. It lies in sound policies, programs that are implemented that ministers to the socio-economic development of the community.
To education matters now, the federal government on Thursday said demands by the Academic Staff Union of universities to be paid salaries for the 6-month strike period is stalling its negotiations with the union. This was as the federal government insisted that it will not concede to ASU's demands to be paid the backlog of salaries withheld within the period. Minister of Education Adamu disclosed this to journalists at the 47th session of the State House Ministerial Media Briefing organized by the Presidential Communications Team at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. But fielding questions from State House correspondents on Thursday, Adamu affirmed that 3 of the striking university-based unions will return to work within the next 1 week, whereas ASUs remain uncertain. He denied receiving a 2-week ultimatum from President Buhari, adding that he successfully concluded his work 1 week after meeting the president on July 18. He regretted that ASU proceeded with a strike despite the Buhari regime and agencies such as State Fund and UBEC directly investing 2.5 trillion naira into education. Adamu, however, noted that renegotiations are ongoing among ASU members to determining when to call off the strike. Meanwhile, the Academic Staff Union of Universities has said it rejected the federal government's offer because it is miserable. ASU President Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke said this in a statement on Thursday and therefore asked the federal government through the Ministry of Education to return to the new draft agreement of the 2009 federal government ASU renegotiation committee, whose work spanned a total of 5.5 years as a demonstration of good faith. The union believes there is wasteful spending, misappropriation of funds, and outright stealing of the collective patrimony, but expressed optimism that if the leakages in the management of the country's resources are stopped, there will be more than enough to meet the nation's revenue and expenditure targets without borrowing and plunging the country into a debt crisis, as is the case now. Professor Oshodeke in the statement explained that the government imposed the ongoing strike action on ASU, saying federal government had encouraged it to linger because of its provocative indifference. It stressed that the government's superstitious move, to set aside the principle of collective bargaining, which was globally in practice, had the potential of damaging lecturers' psyche and destroying commitment to the university system. The crisis of interest between staff governors and the federal government over deductions made in respect of the Paris Club debt refunds may have taken a fresh dimension as the Nigeria Governors Forum lashed back at the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, over recent comments credited to him regarding the $418 million Paris debt refunds. The governors, after their deliberations at the Presidential Villa Abuja, accused Malami of orchestrating the deductions from their funds to settle the consultancy fees from a point of personal interest, a development they were ready to fight in the law courts. Chairman of the NGF, who doubles as Ekiti State Governor, Kayode Fayemi, who read out the communique, also accused Malami of selfishness and self-serving agenda. Malami, who featured at the weekly briefings coordinated by the presidential media team, had stated that there was no basis for agitation by the Nigerian Governors Forum concerning deductions from the Paris Club refund paid to the consultants they hired. Malami had also described the governor's action as akin to crying over spilled milk. Community development associations have been described as the best avenue to complement government's efforts at providing developmental projects at the grassroots. These informed the recognition and certification given to CDAs, CDCs, and ACDCs by the Ogun State government across the state through the Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives. Elizabeth Esson witnessed the presentation of certificate to Anowoneyo Area Community Development Committee held at the Palace of Onirite of Irete in Odogbolu local government. Our report.
After assessment and meeting necessary requirements, Anowoneyo Area Community Development Committee, Irete Jebu, was presented with certificate of registration by the Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives through the Director of Community Development, Mr. Olanrewaju Fayoyi, assisted by the Onirete of Irete by Dr. Abdulganiu Awokoya Yesufu.
Because as we are presenting the certificate today, it shows that the beginning of a new era. Please and please, before now, we are under level, but now we are not full-fledged areas to the state. I want to what level we have been doing. Level we have created more CDAs, which is one of them. I will try to do so in the next 2-3 years.
The chairman and Anowoneyo ACDC Irete Jebu, Otumba Dosumo Lamide, confirmed that being certified as ACDC connotes new beginning and chapter of community development agenda and program towards strengthening community growth.
Numerous community development programs and initiatives have been lined up, including but not limited to the following: improving on the security situation of the community, revisiting various committee reports by the past administration and infrastructure on infrastructural development of our community, engaging the youth and the women in our program, continuous partnership and neighboring with the neighboring communities to cross-fertilize ideas and planning learning for possible replication of good initiatives in our community.
The timely certification, which was facilitated by the Onirete of Irete Jebu, Oba Abdulganiu Awokoya Yesufu, according to the monarch, was aimed at encouraging community participation in infrastructure development through self-help projects.
We need our community to be very okay with every infrastructure that you can get at the city center in terms of electricity, good road, good supermarket, names them. We want it. That's why we believe that to get them, we need to get a good starting by getting CDC. So on that one, we can build our treasury of growth.
Goodwill messages were delivered by community leaders from the state and zonal levels, as well as dignitaries who graced the occasion. Anowoneyo Area Community Development Committee, Irete Jebu, comprises 39 community development associations. Elizabeth Esson, OGTV News.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dakpo Abiodun has described Elder Noah Ademola Taiwo, the father of his Deputy Chief of Staff, Dr. Toyin Taiwo, as a devout Christian, consummate patriot, and great achiever whose contributions to the Lord's vineyards have earned him recognition in all spheres of life. The governor, who stated this in his goodwill message, read at the 80th birthday celebration held at Ijamido Children's Home, Songwater, Ogun State, noted that the impact of Pa Taiwo's numerous achievements over decades have continued to be a thing of reference and admiration. Also congratulated him on his entry into the club of octogenarians. In his brief sermon, Pastor Jeremiah Anjolaya said the celebrant has lived 80 fruitful years and prayed for God's continued protection, sound health, and abundant blessings from him. Appreciating God's faithfulness over the life of the octogenarian, one of his children, Dr. Toyin Taiwo, the Deputy Chief of Staff to Governor Abeokuta, glorified God for his mercies over the life of his father and for bringing the family up in the way of the Lord. He disclosed that their decision to have the birthday celebration at the Ijamido Children's Home was in compliance with their father's philosophy of life, which believes that the best way to appreciate God's faithfulness in one's life was to celebrate special days with the less privileged.
With the children, to give them hope, to tell them that yes, there may be an offer, but there is hope.
He described his father as a dutiful father, strong pillar of the family, and a charismatic leader. And now to Lagos State, where the government has extended the ban on commercial motorcycles, Okada, to 4 more local government areas and 5 local council development areas. The Commissioner for Transport, Dr. Frederick Oladende, confirmed this on Thursday. According to Oladende, the decision was taken after a review of the earlier ban on commercial motorcycles operation in 6 local councils. The additional councils where the total Okada ban is pronounced include Koshofe local government, Oshodi Solo local government, Shomolu local government, and Mushin local government. Others are Ikusi Shere LCDA, Agboyiketu LCDA, Isolo LCDA, Bariga LCDA, and Odiolowo LCDA. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has ordered full enforcement from September 1, 2022. You're watching OGTV News, and it's time for some business stories. Over to you, Ogizimo.
Welcome to the business segment of the news. Electricity distribution companies, DISCOs, lost an estimated 2.94 billion naira in revenues on Wednesday, 17th August 2022, from following the 14 hours long strike embarked upon by labor unions. Electricity workers under the aegis of the National Union of Electricity Employees and the Senior Staff Association Electricity and Allied Companies grounded the operations of the Transmission Company of Nigeria on Wednesday, leading to a nationwide blackout. The 2.94 billion naira loss is coming at a time when some DISCOs have been dealing with a crunch in revenue amidst decline in power supply. Notably, the Benin Electricity Distribution Company said that it lost 750 million naira in the last 1 month as a result of what it described as an illegal takeover of its operations. The Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele has disclosed that from next week, Nigerians will be able to transact on e-Naira wallet through the unstructured supplementary service data code on mobile phones. The e-Naira is a central bank digital currency backed by law and issued by the CBN as a legal tender. It is the digital form of the Naira used as cash. Aside from transacting, Emefiele said Nigerians can also open an e-Naira wallet on any phone of their choice through the designated USSD code. According to him, Nigerians will only have to dial *997# from their phones to carry out these transactions. The CBN boss announced this at the grand finale of the 2022 e-Naira Hackathon in Abuja on Thursday. As cashless economy sustained momentum, the value of check transactions in Nigeria fell month on month by 12% to 240 billion naira in July from 274 billion naira in June. Disclosing these in its industry statistics for July 2022, the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System also said the volume of transactions on check fell by 13.7% in June. Transactions through check began a sharp decline in 2020 as most bank customers and businesses took to adopting cashless transfers through electronic payment channels to reduce physical contacts due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Trade between Nigeria and Indonesia hit $2.6 billion in 2021 as both countries have announced plans to deepen trade ties. The President, Nigerian-Indonesia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Ismail Balogun, at a press conference to herald the Nigerian-Indonesian Investment Trade Forum 2022, scheduled to hold between the 17th and 27th October 2022 in Jakarta, said the investment summit would explore investment areas where both countries can take advantage of in both countries' bid to boost trade ties. Balogun stated that Nigeria and Indonesia have enjoyed strong bilateral trade relationships since 1960, saying that the major reasons for organizing the trade forum is to attract foreign investment into Nigeria. The head of the Africa Investment Forum, African Development Bank, AFDB, Senior Director, Chinelo Ahono, has called for stronger strategic partnerships and greater involvement of African sovereign wealth funds to rebuild the continent's economies following the COVID-19 pandemic. Anohu made the call while giving a keynote address to Brown Capital Management Forum's third high-level meeting for Africa Foreign Wealth Funds recently. Of the 17 countries with the largest sovereign wealth funds, 15 of them are major oil and gas exporters, and unfortunately, Nigeria is the only country with inconsequential savings. Nigeria can only boast of about $3 billion in Nigeria Foreign Investment Authority, despite high oil prices. And that's the size of the business segment of the news. Many thanks for watching. The rest of the bulletin continues.